Ah, the Kancil. Do you remember the Kancil? While the Proton saga is rightfully credited for starting Malaysia's automotive industry, it was the Kancil that should be credited with moving the masses. By being so compact and affordable both to buy and to run, the Kancil essentially became a proper viable alternative to riding a motorcycle. In fact, a lot of people would tell you that driving a Kancil around is a lot like having a motorcycle, just with 2 extra wheels, some doors and a roof. But it's 2019. You can't make cars like the Kancil anymore due to safety and legislation and so on. So from the Kancil we got the Kalisa, from the Kalisa we got the Viva, and from the Viva we got these, the 2019 Perodua Axia. So new for 2019 is this, the style variant, which is stylish, but the more important update for me is this, the Perodua Axia Advance, because now for the first time in the sub 50,000 ringgit segment, this car comes with Advanced Safety Assist 2.0 or ASA 2.0, bringing advanced driver assistance features to the sub 50,000 segment for the first time. So what's in it then? These two brand new Perodua Axias. Are they any good? Let's find out. So for the 2019 model year, the Axia has only been given a very mild refresh, and so on this advanced model you get slightly reworked headlights, new bumpers, and that's about it really. But the bigger news comes in the form of the style, which is, as I said earlier, an all-new variant. So you have this Myvi-esque face, which is kind of cool, I guess, reminds you of certain other models in the range. You get lots of black body cladding around the place, you get these unique alloy wheels, purely aesthetic roof rails, and this bright orange, or rather MalaysianMotoring orange. That's not what Perodua calls it, but that's what you suggest you order it in. Now on the interior of the Axia, also not much has changed. You have a slightly different center console here and a slightly reworked meter cluster, but that's about it. But in this style model you do get this nice denim fabric, which is a first for the Axia, which I think is kind of cool and certainly looks interesting. Even has this cute hexagonal pattern on it, which kind of makes it look a little bit tougher, or at least it wants to look tougher. Now, in the advanced model, you can see that still not much has changed. You get a touchscreen in the middle, which is nice, and you do get this leather-wrapped steering wheel and some multifunctional buttons here on the steering wheel for the infotainment system. But for the most part, it is basically identical to what you get in the style. What you don't get in here is that denim fabric. Instead, you get this black fabric with some red piping and some other red bits on it, which is nice, I guess. But if you like cars with leather, unfortunately, no matter how much money you pay, you cannot get an Axia with leather as standard. You can, however, get a seat cover set from Perodua's Gear Up package, accessory nonsense thingies, if you would so want. Since you're also here, I just want to mention that this thing is not standard. This is our equipment. Behind the wheel, the Axia is a pretty interesting thing to dart around in. Personally, I've never owned anything this small, sans a brief period where I was driving around in my mechanic's Kancil while my BMW threw fits. And so over the last week I've had this thing. I've enjoyed darting around traffic and making the tightest U-turns and generally being a nuisance to other motorists. In fact, the best way to talk about this car is the Axia is motoring simplified, and if you're not worried about having another 5 feet of car behind you, it's actually quite liberating. Visibility is good all the way around thanks to these intelligently designed pillars that don't block out too much of your view, plus this very low window line, which means that you don't really have to strain to see what lies on the outside. Now, needless to say, dynamics is not this car's strong suit. And although dynamics might not be a thing, I would like to talk about the fact that this car is very easy to drive. Now, the steering wheel is very light, but it's still very accurate, which means that driving around town is an absolute doddle. But on the motorway, the steering wheel is perhaps a little bit too light than what would be considered confidence-inspiring. Driving the style. Driving this thing around reveals, surprise, surprise, no surprises. Aside from the fact that this car deals with the very worst of lumps and bumps a little bit better thanks to its slightly thicker tires. A common issue that is shared between this style and the advanced model that we were driving around in earlier is the 1-litre 3-cylinder engine up front. Now, as I said, this car also comes with a 4-speed automatic. Most of the Axia range comes with a 4-speed automatic, except for the base E variant, whatever the base model is. That one comes with a 5-speed manual. Now, the thing about this 1-litre 3-cylinder is that while it is very efficient, there's no doubt about that, it isn't the most refined thing on the planet. So, like right now we're idling, there is a decent amount of vibration, and at speeds below 40 kilometers an hour, that vibration really tends to make itself kind of apparent. That said, at least the car is very well built, so even though it does vibrate quite a bit at standstill and in traffic jam or within traffic jam speeds, you don't hear a lot of rattling in here, so that's a good thing, I guess. What is of note with the 2019 update of the Axia is that the range-topping advanced model now comes with Advanced Safety Assist, or ASA 2.0, for the first time. Lifted straight out of the Aruz, this system now bundles things like autonomous emergency braking, pre-collision warning, pedal misoperation control, and forward departure alert into a sub 50,000 ringgit package for the first time. This will be of particular note to parents looking for a car to give to their college-going kids, perhaps, as ASA has proven to be highly effective in preventing and mitigating city speed accidents. To that end, the Axia also comes with ISOFIX mounts for child seats in the back, as well as a 3-point seat belt for the middle rear seat too, to ensure safety for all. So, the 2019 Perodua Axia. Not a whole lot has changed, but significant improvements have been made across the board. The advanced model now features ASA 2.0, bringing advanced safety features to the sub 50k category for the first time, while the style now offers a little bit more exuberance, a little bit more boldness in a segment that often lacks lifestyle choices for those who want something a little bit more out there. So, does the new Axia deserve to remain as Malaysia's fastest selling A-segment hatch? Hell yes! And considering the changes that are being made and the improvements that are being rolled out, the Axia deserves to stay there for a long, long time to come.